I don't know if it's obvious, but good time management has never been my strongest suit, and this video is no exception. Welcome to the journey of me sewing 2 brand new dresses for a maternity photo shoot in 24 hours. It ends with me completely drenched and starts here with something that needed to get completely dry. Thanks also to Birch for sponsoring this video. Hope you enjoy. This was a pregnancy gift from my cousin, and I wasn't sure if I would get around to using it, but I think today is the day. Do you read the instructions, or are you the type that just believes I'm an instructions person? Oh my god. Like a petroleum jelly type of thing. 5 plaster rolls. I'm also gonna need scissors and a dish. Oh, this is a sanding screen. I feel like I will also need a helper. Are you please? It feels so weird. It's not that cold though. I thought the coldness would be the unpleasant part. Anyways, words fail me. I just look at this and I just feel so odd. Okay, I gotta figure out a way to attach this to my body form. I literally only have today to prepare 2 maternity looks. It's been a long time since I put myself in a time crunch like this, and we need to get moving. Let's talk fabric. The first look I want to make is kind of a merger of a few ideas. There's this like cult Gaia top, also comes in a dress form with this micro pleated fabric that I think has such a cool fan effect. And then there's also these photos from Gigi Hadid's maternity shoot, and there's something about this top that looks like a tulip hanging upside down. Like it's got such a nice floaty, petal-y type of feeling. So I went to the fabric store, specifically looked for micro pleated fabric, and this is what I found. You can see the micro pleats that are already embedded into it, which gives it a nice stretch. Maybe it would have been nice if it was even firmer, because she is quite a softie. But I'm hoping with a few cuts and stitches, this can become like a beautiful flower. Okay, I've got 2 layers of fabric folded here so that one layer will become the front and one layer will become the back, and the fold is to get a line of symmetry. This is the center point. I was told online to tape micro pleated fabric to make it easier to work with, so I have done so. This is the distance to the end of the neck hole, then to the shoulder, and then here all the way becoming sleeve. I needed some more sleeve, so this is the rest of it that's gonna get sewn here. This here's the skirt. I feel like it's not gonna be full enough, so I might have to save some of this fabric to fill it up. I hate cutting fabric, it's just so no turning back. On the front and back layer, I have joined the little extra sleeve attachment, other sleeve with attachment. It's just right sides together with a straight stitch. I was gonna blanket stitch these 2 layers wrong sides together, and then you just gotta make sure when you're coming up here, you stop here. So there's the gap for your head to come out, and then start again with everything joined together. I cut little notches into this to help me remember where I had measured and marked the neck and the shoulder points. Also, sewing this is honestly like sewing a soft ruffle chip. It's so pleasing to feel the folds. I'm using this blanket stitch right here, number 8, because it's more suitable for stretch fabrics. And here's a close-up of how it's turning out. Okay, I emerge. I feel like I'm about to take flight. This is good. I'm gonna finish off the neck hole opening with the blanket stitch as well, front and back, and then the plan with the underside of the sleeves was to sew it right sides together instead of wrong sides together like I did here at the top. What a crazy outfit. Update for those who have been watching my vlogs, we did get our bassinet. For the almost half a year that we've had our Birch mattress, I've been providing periodic updates in my YouTube videos on just like how things are going, additional accessories that we've added along the way, and we're happy to report that we're still waking up feeling well rested, and this might be the last installment of my Birch mattress updates. The final weeks of pregnancy are often the toughest for sleep, not to mention what sleep may or may not look like after a baby is born. But I'm so glad that we've partnered with Birch Living and their comfortable mattresses that are also organic, non-toxic, made in America with just 4 materials: organic latex, New Zealand wool, American steel springs, and organic cotton. Especially with baby, you just get peace of mind knowing the materials are all natural, organic, 100% non-toxic, and on top of that, we haven't experienced any sleep-induced soreness, and we're just so excited at the end of the day to get in bed. Such as a day like this sewing project where I didn't manage my time well and I was exhausted. Our mattress was so easy to purchase online. You'll get a 10-year warranty and a 100-night sleep trial, so essentially more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. If you don't, they'll pick it up and refund you just as easily as when they delivered it right to your door. Your mattress will also come with 2 eco-rest pillows. We've got ours right there. They're made from plastic recycled bottles and are still breathable, but just much better for the environment. And for all that, the mattress and the 2 eco-rest pillows, it is free shipping in the US. Dan and I love our Birch mattress, and I think you will too. You can click the link below, or you can go to birchliving.com/withwendy to get $200 off your mattress plus 2 free pillows. Thank you, Birch Living, for sponsoring this video. Now back to me sewing as fast as safely possible. The Colt guide top that I'm kind of using as a bit of inspo has actually a drawstring system in the underarm, which I find very fascinating. But for faster construction, I've cut these elastics, which are the length from my armpit to my wrist, and I'm going to use these to gather only the underside. Okay, I don't know what to make of this, but I'm just going to plow through and see how it works out in the end. I feel like the bottom is a little bit too long. I'm going to cut down about this much. The side naturally flares out, so I'm going to use the excess fabric to fill it in and create a fuller skirt. To increase volume on the bottom so it has a bit more of like a frilly flyaway look, I'm gonna steal a page from Skirt Gaudays, which is something I actually have not done much. In the side seam where it's not closed up yet, I'm going to insert these triangles, one on the left hip, one on the right hip. I might have to do more Gaudays, but then I'm also a bit nervous that they'll negatively impact the vibe. I think I'm ready to wrap this up. 2 things. I've made these little elastic rings that are comfortable fit around my wrist, and I'm going to use these to hem the ends of the cuffs so that they have a definitive resting place on my wrist. Regarding the bottom edge, I'm just going to do a super tight hem, but ideally I want to sew in a fishing line or something like that to give it more structure. Okay, to explain, the way sometimes this type of ruffle is achieved at the end is by having a filament inside of the hem. I don't have fishing line, but what I do have is the super firm interfacing that I've used before to make bags and other structured objects. I realized if I pull these little filaments out of the side, they're very firm. This is just for demonstration, but this first stitch has no filament and has a little bit of ruffle to it. And here it is after a second stitch, and I think the ruffle shape really worked out, like a little tulip. Now, however, I am realizing that there's a potential downside where the little tips of the filaments are going to poke out. Here's a little example. See the little black tips? So in the end, if you can get firm fishing line and make it one continuous loop, I would highly advise that. It is 5 p.m. and I got one more look that I want to crank out. This one hopefully will be a bit easier. The inspo for this is these 2 photos. We have this Brandon Maxwell piece that is just like a head to toe, like a cross between a present and a Greek goddess. And then the other inspo is this Dipetza creation. This is a wet look that's been modeled on so many celebs. I obviously don't have time to be doing my own research and experimentation to perfect how to make dry fabric look wet. But I've got this beautiful white fabric. It's got a slightly crushed waffle texture, a little bit of stretch that I think will make it nice and comfortable. And it's time to make it work. The dress form is going to come in real handy. Oh, and my tactic for how to make this look like a wet look in the end will be to literally wet it. Just keeping it simple. I took a rectangle of fabric that was the circumference of my neck and 12 centimeters tall, since I wanted a 6 centimeter tall collar. So I've got these two ends sewn in with the right sides touching. Give that whole thing a flip and a press. And here I have it pinned up onto the body form on the back. I'm planning on just doing a hook and eye closure, so these can just be touching each other. And now to drape all the rest of this white fabric. So there's a front width that I want to gather so that it's not totally flat, that there's still a few little ruffles in the front. I put in these red pins first to designate all of the pleats, and then these pink pins are hopefully holding the pleats together so that if I removed the red pins, I can pull back this pleated layer and get at the one underneath. First, I'm gonna gather up this center front, and then I guess I'll sew these pleats in and see where it lands from there. If I like it, then I will repeat on the other half. This is pinned up. Got some overlap of the pleated part in the front. Got this big piece that was extra in the back swinging around to form a little capelet. And I think somewhere in here I'm just gonna cut a discreet little slit to serve as an armhole. Draping is kind of fun and a bit chaotic. Because the fabric was actually exactly my height and I didn't need to trim it, all I did to hem the bottom was fold it in once and do a straight stitch. Very fast and lazy way of getting it done. The center back was just closed up with a straight stitch with an opening starting at about the mid back so that you can still fit your head through the neck hole. The collar ended up being the saddest part after all that work. It just ended up not looking quite right because it was so bulky from all the thick fabric, but I ended up just folding the excess collar out of the way and closing it down with a straight stitch. Therefore, the back could be closed with just a little tie closure. Oh yeah, and the armholes. It was just a straight slit, folded the edges out of the way, and put them in place with a straight stitch so they wouldn't fray. As long as it is under the cape, it is good. Getting the special opportunity to shoot at Somerset Studios today. It is a studio available for rent here in Toronto, and you can rent it for a really wide variety of things, from events to shoots to even elopements. I'll put a link in the description for all the team members. We're going to be shooting the 2 looks that I made. I really hope it all comes together for my sake and your sake. Hope you enjoy.
Is it all that I want? Well, I know it's harder now to say than before. Are you any closer to love than you were when I go? I'll make it easier. Now don't you want anyone else to find who I can't recover? I'm needing to hide. It won't be anything alike. What does it mean if I can't leave it behind us? Now won't it be enough to keep on in my love? When time falls so heavy on you, nobody's looking at you now. Am I there to recall? Find another part of us I don't need anymore. Well, I wouldn't like to remind what you said all along. Why make it easier? Now don't you want anyone else to find who
this super crazy space warrior hair. The last look is a little bit more au naturel.
What does it mean if I can't leave it behind us? Not wanna be enough to keep on in my love. Well, time falls so heavy on you. Nobody's looking at you now.
I'm trying this on again now at 39 weeks pregnant. Woo! This might be the last video on my channel for a little bit as I take a break for baby. If you want to see more photos from the shoot, they will be on my Instagram at WITHWENDY, which is also a really great place to follow if you want updates from me while I'm taking a break from YouTube, since Instagram's just a little bit easier to post on. I'm so thankful for the whole team that came together to make this shoot possible. I've missed working with people so much. Hopefully everything continues to improve, and by the time I come back, we'll be good to go. But if you want to be first here when I come back with a new video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification. In the meantime, please keep #MadeWithWendy going strong. I love seeing all of your creations. I guess that's it for now. I'll miss you guys. See you on Instagram and take care. Bye-bye.